wall now. Fantastic. That's exactly what we need to have happen here. It's exactly what we need. And again, as soon as everything's loaded, we'll go to our topic. All right, our topic for the day is going to be Sophie Cunningham, and I may stay in here a little while. So we've seen her do the whole thing with the pointing, with the finger thing, right? That kind of put her on the radar, right? All of a sudden, she became the most well-known women's professional basketball player again out of nowhere, and put her on the map. And well, what she's done is she's jumped up and made a statement, and she's catching flack for it. Here's the crazy thing, and this is why we have to protect this woman. She's catching flack over stating something that's common sense. People are treating it like it's a right-wing extreme issue, right? It's not. Fair play in women's sports. Fair play in women's sports is not a far-right issue. It's a moderate issue that also the right wing jumps on because it's really, really easy to attack the left on it. The whole trans thing, as far as left-wing politics go, is their Achilles heel. It's a tool that we can use to absolutely bury liberal politicians, okay? Because most people are against it. Most people don't like it. The majority of people, not just conservatives, are uncomfortable with it. So it is itself an extremist position. And what she got up and said is not even what we would call the right-wing stance. She took the moderate, middle-of-the-road stance, and she's being attacked for it. And she essentially said, look, women's sports are for women, right? They're for women. Our locker rooms are for women. We don't need men competing, biological men competing in our sports. We don't need them in our dressing rooms, our changing rooms. Like, this is a problem, right? And she took that position, and she was very polite about it. She's way more polite about it than I would be, right? She's more polite about it than the state of Texas is. Where I live, it's illegal. Essentially, what she's calling for is, hey, I'm against, I don't think that people should be doing X when it's already illegal in a lot of places. And then people are acting like that's an extremist position. It's not. It's not an extreme position, right? Magnuson asked on YouTube, how are you doing today, Coach? I'm doing good, man. I cut my cardio a little short because I wanted to get in and get a live going. I've got a bunch of stuff I have to get done today. I've got a bunch of cooking. I got laundry. And I wanted to get a live in now before some later interruptions. So it's like I kind of cut the cardio short to be the shortest cardio day, but I'll do a bunch of walking in the house while I'm working on other errands and in between projects while stuff are rendering. I get up and do 10-minute walks and then check something. So I'll end up getting my step count up. But I went out and put in 1.5 miles after my leg day, and I'm like, let's call it for the day, right? So this will be probably the lowest cardio day I've had in a week. But I squatted and deadlifted this morning, so we'll take the win. But yeah, I'll get back over to the topic. No, this woman needs to be protected because she's taking really a sane position. And what's fascinating is this is how crazy the far left is, that they're coming at her over it, acting like this is some extremist position. And that's what the left doesn't get. They've gone so far to the left that they just call everybody a Nazi and a fascist, even people who were Democrats and liberal heroes 20 years ago. Right? I mean, think about someone like JFK, right? Liberal hero. The far woke left today would call him a fascist Nazi, right-wing extremist. But he was one of y'all's heroes 50 years ago, 40 years ago. How about even Bill Clinton, liberal hero? Bill Clinton would be almost MAGA today. Borderline, not really, not all the way, but he'd be leaning in that direction if you were to look at his actual policies. They would be considered conservative policies by today's standards. Not even his wife, she wanted to attack Iran. She was talking about wiping Iran off the map. Right? So that's how crazy they get with this, that they want to attack this woman for basically talking what would be common sense, right? This is a common sense talking point in sports that all of us are saying. And only the extremists and the left wing are promoting this nonsense of thinking that Sports should be about inclusion. The whole idea of divisions in sports is anti-inclusion, right? Open classes because I compete in a sport that happens to have a lot of divisions, right? Powerlifting. Divisions are about exclusiveness. They're about not inclusivity. We have open classes for that. The open means anybody can compete. But then outside of that, you got age classes, masters, juniors. We have different weight classes. We have men's, we have women, but the men's is technically the open, right? So when you have sports like that are women's sports, they're intended for biological women. And it's crazy that feminists haven't jumped harder on this because feminists actually fought for women to get their own divisions in sports. That used to be one of their talking points. We need our own sports. We need our own locker rooms. We need our own leagues, our own divisions, right? Because we shouldn't have to compete against men and we need a fair place at the table in sports. They fought for that, right? And they got that. And now these same feminists, right? These same feminists are now supporting dudes coming into these. It's this very strange positions flip. And I think really the only thing it comes down to is feminists just want men to cut their dicks off. And so they're like, yeah, let's promote this transgender thing, right? So men will be castrated. That's probably their only reason for it. But let's check the YouTube chat. Why aren't you guys hitting like on YouTube, by the way, Magnuson? How are you watching a comment and no like? He says, I really enjoyed low volume, high intensity training. I still get stronger while also being able to recover so I can run also. Exactly. I've noticed people actually want to say this, but are afraid of the possible consequences following such statements. Right. But what consequence? Like there shouldn't be consequences. Shouldn't be consequences. And you're seeing more and more people saying it. I mean, you saw J.K. Rowling. She's being hated by the whole alphabet mafia for her positions on that. But she was a pro-gay writer. Like, let's not pretend that J.K. Rowling is exactly a Trump supporter here, right? She is a pro-homosexual writer who includes gay characters in her stories. Right? She's a liberal, a pro-homosexual liberal. And she's even being attacked by these people for her position on the trans thing. And what people forget, the majority of people are opposed to this stuff. Like it's a minority position because it's well on its way into Hollywood. It's very obvious. I mean, look at who pushed it. I mean, even Epstein was one of the early pushers of the whole transgender thing, right? Look at who all is pushing. It's been pushed into Hollywood. Crazy. But yeah, where I live, it's illegal. Like the state of Texas has outlawed it. Men cannot compete in women's sports here. It is a criminal offense. You can get jail time. So it's just crazy that there's states like mine to where we've already officially made it illegal. Like you'll go to prison for this stuff. You can't do it. There'll be fines to the organizations. People go to jail. We don't put up with it. Banned from all school sports. But then to get up and make the same statement at the national level, they're treating them like an extremist when it's not. It's actually the moderate position, right? The moderate position is, hey, we're against this. The right-wing position, like me, is you should go to prison for it, right? I'm on the right wing. The right-wing position is not, hey, we need to stop this. No, the right wing is throw your ass in prison. Maybe they need to be in camp. Maybe they need to be in mental institutions, all of them. Right? That's our position. We're not just, hey, this needs to be stopped in sports. No, prison, insane asylums. So people are confusing these two. Let's come back over to other questions. Money Hoarder says, hey, I really enjoy the 1 set per exercise like you're doing at the moment. It's more enjoyable than do. And it allows you to progress more. And I think people don't understand how little volume, right? How little volume it really takes when you're pushing hard to grow. And I would argue that if you're training really hard, 6 sets a week may be near the cap. Everything else beyond that's going to be rapidly diminished returns. And I'm not saying you can't get more from more, but still, you get the idea. But I didn't do just 1 set yesterday at curls. I did preacher curls 3 all-out sets. So that's kind of my view is like you can throw a little more work into your worst body parts. My biceps are my worst muscle. So, okay, let's push them a little harder. Eric Solis says, about what percentage of squat can I perform on an everyday basis? I'm going to recommend that you don't. As someone who's run Bulgarian light, you need to very seriously think through your life when you're going to try to do squatting every day. Let me be clear, 19 out of 20 people, it will break you, including myself. Let me be clear, I'm in that 19 out of 20. So I'm going to recommend that you don't, right? And you're definitely not going to do rep work on squats. Which doctor says, hey, Jason, I always hit like first when I get here. I'm sure you see it come through there. There's only one like so far. Like the shirts you've been repping, man, you got some style game and management great for the engage. I don't know, maybe a little bit. Some guy wrote, I'm sick of my back. I don't know what you mean. He's from Africa, so he can't type English anyways. Armando Garcia says, is this sloth running his mouth? Is your mama running her mouth? All right, back over to YouTube. Yeah, maybe. I feel like some stuff's getting a little more views again. But yeah, been wearing some of my different shirts. I mean, I think I've put up pictures or videos before of my walk-in closet. I've got a full walk-in closet. I have a full wardrobe. I probably have 50 to 100 shirts. I just like wearing the same stuff. I messed up in my vlog today. I haven't filmed it yet. I decided to wear one of my other shirts, and it looks horrible. I did all beltless training. But you guys saw the deadlift. Yeah, it just is too baggy. It looks like a dress on me without a belt. I need to just stick to the more form-fitting ones. Look like I'm wearing a muumuu. Realistically, what's the leanest weight most folks who are 5'9" to 5'10" are going to end up? The leanest weight? I mean, you could throw it into a fat-free mass index calculator. All right, go to a fat-free mass index calculator. 25 is for genetically elite people with 15 years under a barbell. 24 is a realistic cap for most guys. So plug the height, weight, and body fat in you want into a fat-free mass index calculator. And keep in mind, a 24 FFMI for a drug-free guy is actually really, really good. Let me be clear on that. You're not doing that in 3 or 4 years. For the average drug-free guy with average genetics, that is like a lifetime goal. 15, 20 years of hard training. So that should tell you a lot about these guys who are the fake natties when you see their stats. Due to literally a 28 fat-free mass index. Yeah. Freak genetics is a 25. Like a guy who can hit a 24.5 to 25 drug-free is a freak. That is your genetic elite. That's your top 1%. Which doctor says, Jason, whenever you hit them with it, your mom come back, they got nothing to say, literally. They don't have anything. Coach, shirts make you look like you lift, right? Well, that's what I always tell guys. If you don't look like you live wearing a shirt, we got a problem. See, because that's the thing is I can be wearing a regular shirt. I can have on shorts. We can have on a regular shirt and look like we lift. You know what I mean? Them teddies, though. That's that 225 for 11 rep paused incline, right? I'm probably close to 315 on incline now. It's kind of a goal I said eventually. I want to get 315 for a pause on a 45-degree incline. But if you don't look like you lift in a shirt, what are you doing? Dylan, they're technically packed. You've seen my pressing strength. Like, look at my incline bench. You know. Let's see. Actually, I don't use trim, Dylan. Dylan, you clearly never watched any of my material on that topic, right? That was a very short-term satire thing I did that I removed 12 years ago and did a 15-minute apology for, right? So just be real, be honest about it. You already know I don't actually claim that. And you know that I gave a 15-minute apology that got 100,000 views. No, I gave a 15-minute long apology like 9 years ago. So over that satire. So that should have ended it. Hey brother, are you pro or anti chiropractic? Neither. I think it can be useful sometimes, but I mean I think a lot of them are quacks. What do you mean be honest about it? I don't do trend and I was never in the CIA. How's that? There you go. I mean, are you going to disagree with those? Either one of those a false statement? Dude, I'm too old to be doing trend. That stuff would kill me at my age. I'd be dying. All right, let's hop back over to YouTube here. One look at coach. You can tell that mobile inclines 3 plates, right? I love walking for lists. I must get 30,000 steps a day. It's the easiest. 30,000 is a lot. How many hours is that taking you? Because I've done 23 a couple times lately, 22, 23, and I know how long that takes. Peppermint says, those guys who bring that up expose that they're watching those weird videos, not coach. Exactly. Right. Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like I've seen a lot of people go, oh, you did it for a prolonged period of time. No, I didn't. It was every bit of that satire was done within a 6-week period. And then I deleted all of it right after. And then people kept talking about it for 12, 13 years. Right. I made people continued even after I did an apology video for it. What was it, 8 or 9 years ago? I did a long, long apology and explanation video. People still continued to think I was doing it. So what do? Like you can't stop the internet. Right? You can't stop the internet. But I'm just going to let him spam on Facebook now. Chat with you guys over here. So Dylan, which one am I lying about specifically? So are you saying I was in the agency? Because we know I'm not on trend. Like I'm too old to use trend. And I don't even have the attitude of trend. Like I'm way too chill, dude. So that's given. I'm obviously not on trend. Like honestly, dude, I can't do trend. If I did trend, I would be running down the street butt naked with a Viking helmet, swinging a battle axe, screaming blood for the blood god, skulls for the throne of corn. Rich Doctor says, dude looking big in a shirt too. That was 225 for 11 incline. Yeah, I did that yesterday again. Looking pumped this morning. Meanwhile, I'm still fasted. No, I haven't even had breakfast yet. I did a leg day and then I just did a mile and a half. And then I came in, took a shower, and decided to get a live done. I'll do a bunch of walking later inside. I have a bunch of stuff I have to get done, projects. But yeah, no, I'm not pumped at all right now. I have not even had breakfast. There's no carbs. I've had nothing but black coffee so far this morning. Vegan Gains on a gram of gear. No, Vegan Gains, he actually has a good physique. Let's give credit where credit is due. All the drugs have worked for him. Like he's on like 6 different steroids, he admitted. No, I mean they've worked for him. I mean, he's jacked. He just has no lower body strength still. Peppermint says right, blood for the blood god. Vegan Gains is quite sassy on trend. Maybe it's just that. It could be that vegan diet though. But I mean, trend brain is a real thing. Now, trend brain is totally a real thing. It's because the way it crosses the brain-blood barrier and then binds to the androgen receptors in the brain. No, it's a real thing. Coach Blaha, what's your opinion on adductor and abductor machines? Are they useful? I've never seen. I don't think they're worthwhile. Like if you want to mess around on them and you like them, I know girls who like them. But in terms of them actually doing much of anything for guys or improving your squat or deadlift, probably not. Not really a fan of the good girl, bad girl machines. I know girls who do them and like them, and that's fine, But all the girls I know who do them also squat a lot of weight and stuff too. So it's like, they want to use them as a finisher or something, that's fine. Coach just don't have a lot of use for them. You know what I'm saying? Right? Shit. You know what I'm saying? Actually, we got to draw all the shit out. It's got to be like, shit. Right? You say, we was kangs and shit. All right. Back over to the point. Let Vegan Gains talk about that one. Surprised he hadn't popped off calling me a racist. He used to do that all the time. And now that I'm doing my Facebook content, he's been real quiet about it. Oh, let's see, this guy's saying my arms are small and weak. Really? You've seen me do tricep extensions with 135, like a full plate per side on a bar for rep work. Let's see, your protein is like that doesn't work either. There's not enough protein content in that. You couldn't sustain your muscle on that. I know you really want to try and you wish that it were possible. I know that's your fantasy, but it's just not biologically possible. Sorry. You know, I know how you liberal guys are though, right? Y'all got this whole cum swallowing fetish and booty sex thing, always putting stuff in y'all's butts. Copenhagen plant. I don't even know what that. Why do you guys throw all these weird? There's always these weird names. Everyone has these weird ass names for lifts that I've never heard of. A Spanish squat, a Copenhagen plant. What are you guys talking about? I'm not Googling it. Copenhagen, like the chewing tobacco. You like taking a dip and then you do a plank, like with the Copenhagen and you chew. I don't know. Will you use behind the neck presses to build your incline? No, because I can't do behind the neck presses anymore. If I could behind the neck press, I would totally do it. If I could still do it. I'm working on my shoulder mobility. I'm able to almost overhead press correctly again now. I love behind the neck presses. Yeah, why didn't you just call it a side plank, man? Come on. I'm like picturing you getting a big old thing of skull and sticking it in your cheek and then spitting it and then doing a plank and then spitting again. Like, work with me here. Just call it a side plank, nigga. All right. Let's see. No, I would totally use the behind the neck press if I could. I used to do push presses that way on camera and stuff. I used to clean it up and do them. But, unfortunately, I don't have the shoulder range of motion to do that correctly anymore. Maybe one day. You are with a letter U. Oh, we got some Negroid spelling here. Let me check. Let's see if he's one of the usual suspects. I see the Grateful Dead thing in his thing. Let's see what he is. No, he looks like an Antifa weirdo though. We got like a little black man. Oh, he definitely Antifa. He looks kind of inbred though. He kind of got that look to his eyes, this Michael Brewer guy. You guys check it out. Everyone go check out Michael Brewer and the thing and look at his pictures. YouTube guys, you check him out here. I'm going to link him on YouTube. So you guys can check out this inbred looking dude. All right, go check him out. Like, seriously, like look at his eyes, like the way they're set. Especially the one where he's got like the little Antifa mask on. He's almost like cross-eyed looking there. Like you can tell maybe, Uncle Daddy is in the gene pool there. Oh man. Bro, you need to put your profile on private if you're going to do. Oh wait, we got a picture of him sitting around smoking a bunch of weed or something. Sitting there with a fat chick and tie-dye. Telling you, man, what a weirdo. What a degenerate. I bet she probably pegs him. All right, Jason, what's up with the spot on your head? No. Well, it's a pimple and I can't get it to match. I don't know. I've been sweating so much doing all the running and cardio that I got a pimple on my forehead. Right? Unfortunately. No, but I didn't hit a tree again. Oh, man. He misspelled there and is, right? Jason, do you usually carb up a lot? Well, I don't eat before I train. All those big lifts you've seen me done are completely fasted. Does swimming count as GPP? If you use it as GPP, it counts as GPP. Are you doing it for sport-specific reasons and timing it? So depends on how you're applying it. No, that would just for fun swimming. Yeah, that'll count as probably as GPP to some extent. You know, it may not be quite intense enough unless you're like doing sprint work almost swimming to be true GPP, because GPP needs a certain resistance and intensity component. Owen says, hey, where did I sign up for the artificial butt baby surgery? I don't know, man. I'm sure like all the Alphabet Mafia pages can give you some advice. Michael says, you are a batch. Come check me out. I have balls to stand up. Bro, what you gonna do? Roll up, man. Roll up. Your whole crew better have level 4 plates on though. I mean, you guys have seen my arsenal, right? You've seen me shoot on camera. I'm just saying, bro, you better bring the whole crew and y'all better have good armor. Because I'm going to fill the whole street with hot brass. Roll up with it. These guys always want to act like they're tough, like I'm some soft target. Like I literally build AR-15s and hand loads as a hobby. I mean, come on, dude, just stop. This is not going to, and I live in a stand your ground state. Just stop. You seem to be in the know. What are you talking about my status? Oh, and you do know my statuses are jokes, right? Just let's hold on. Let me step back. All right. You do realize those are jokes. This may be a difficult concept for you to understand. You're talking about the butt baby post with the trans dudes. That was a joke. Thomas says, oh, look at the meathead. Why are you obsessed with gays and trans and thinking everybody that doesn't agree with you as a liberal is effing pathetic princesses, and it screams closet case. You know what? Your mom's a closet case, Brian. Your mom is in the closet. What do you think about that? What do you have? What reply do you have to that? Next. These guys don't even realize, they're like, you're obsessed with X or Y. You guys realize my Facebook takes 20 minutes out of my day and it's a business. It takes me 20 minutes a day to make my posts. But make up your mind, what am I obsessed about? Am I obsessed with gay? Am I obsessed with trans? Am I obsessed with black people? Am I obsessed with the Second Amendment, the deadlift? Like, I have so many topics. You guys need to pick one. I can't be obsessed with all these things. No, you with the letter U won't. That shows, no, dude, that's not how it works. Like, you sound like a Negro. Like, if you want to throw hands and fight everybody, you sure you're not black? Because you sound like a monkey. I want to fight everybody. Yeah, whatever. I don't have time for this nonsense. Again, imagine dudes thinking that getting in fist fights with people is what makes you a man. Seriously, dude. That really what you define as a man. Typical liberal. Again, I can see that liberal mindset. I need to hit everybody. I need to beat everybody up I don't like. I need to get in fights with everybody. Absolutely leftist mindset. Yeah. All right. Sounds very, very simian. It does sound very simian, right? It's the monkey brain at work right there. Ice cream fitness 5x5 3.0. I don't know. What do we need a 3.0? We have a 1.0. We have a 2.0. At this point, I feel like a 3.0 would be purely marketing. You know, I don't know that it would be useful to anybody. Really. What makes you a man? Well, what makes a man is a power in his hand. His quest for glory. Live it, give it all you got. Right? You guys know that song. Okay, look it up. Look up the Orgasmo song, Now You're a Man. That popped in my head when you were saying what makes a man. What makes a man is just the power in his hands. Is it his quest for glory? I had that playing in the background of one of my comedy videos like 12, 13 years ago. It's one of my most viral videos on YouTube with Bagpuss. I don't think these Facebook people know I've been trolling that this long. They have no clue. Like Peppermint's laughing, my moderator on YouTube. Like these people are clueless how much of a troll I am. I'm just farming them all day long on Facebook. We just farm these clowns all day. Like it's so easy to farm liberals and black people for engagement. You just stack tens of thousands of dollars off of them because they can't help but react. Like they don't have the temperament to not become emotional and engaged. They lack the capacity for it. Both those groups do. He wrote a whole long thing here about why the state should be abolished. Right. Yeah, good luck with that. Oh, he's an anarchist. Bro, you look way too inbred to survive in an anarchy. You don't have guns. All right, let me tell you right now. Dude's talking about not bringing a gun, being a pussy. Dude, if you are an anarchist, you better be sitting on a massive arsenal. Right? If you have no government, no rule of law, you better be strapped. Like you better be sitting on 100,000 rounds of ammo. That's all I'm saying. Because in that case, you're now at the law of the jungle and the strong rule the weak. When we no longer have rule of law, yeah, you better be prepared for shit hit the fan. That's the funny thing. Like people like me are the ones we do fine, dude. I'm strong, athletic. I have massive amounts of weapons. Like I'm the guy who will be okay in that scenario, and I don't think it's a good idea. I would much rather see peace and order and civilization and rule of law personally. And I am the strong. I would much rather just see a peaceful, prosperous, productive society with order and rule of law. I think it's just better for everybody. Right? Brian says, dude, you're just a weak man. You're emotionally fragile. If you say so. All right, back to YouTube. What do we got going on here? And that world coach would be I would be the top of the food chain there, but I don't desire that world. Like nobody really and truly wants that world. Right? We don't want a shit hit the fan scenario. We don't want a collapse of the system. Well, they don't realize, like people have no concept. No, you don't want that. I don't want revolution. I'm scared revolution may be unavoidable. I'm on the side that's going to win if we have one. I don't want one because life would be objectively worse. It would take us 20 years to have a full return to proper order. And as that order returns, it would be brutal. Once there's a collapse or something like that, it gets ugly. And you're going to see a full totalitarian state is the only thing that reorganizes people after that. And I don't think we want to see that. You watch Walking Dead, Negan's a perfect example. Right? Colton, I can't ever say his last name, is the strongest powerlifter of all time. Pretty much. Dude is a genetic freak. Coach would take over a salt factory and sell it for other goods, right? Oh, man. Not really everyone is heavily armed where I'm at. I don't know that I even have the most firepower in my neighborhood. I got some neighbors who have a lot of hardware. Yeah, and I have over 10,000 rounds of ammo, so put that in perspective. I'd be out in the Texas suburbs. Salt is like gold. Yeah, especially in the hotter climates, Salt. Not just hydration, but preserving meat and other stuff, right? Man. Oh gosh, all these people on Facebook are just chiming in, Peppermint. Of course, you watch it, you always lurk there too. No, Colton is a absolute genetic freak. Right? Colton's a genetic freak. All right. This has probably gone on long enough. About time for Coach to get some breakfast in. It's 10 a.m. I haven't eaten yet. I've done lifting, done some cardio. I got in the Instapot, I got chicken, brown rice, broccoli, sweet potato, and kidney beans. All right. So I'm going to wind down the Facebook. And YouTube here. Let me give you guys a bicep shot before we go. Oh, Mount Bicephalus. And we're out.